gentlemen, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher. Bill's guest tonight, actress Tia Carrere, artist and Renaissance man Todd Rundgren, radio talk show host Ted Hamblin, and comedian Reno Collier.
Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. I know why you're here, to get your daily Elian Gonzalez fix. Let me catch you up on the news. They have moved him. He's now in a house at the Y River Plantation, living there with his father. Janet Reno had to report to Congress, and President Clinton weighed in today. He said, you know, leave this family alone. They've been through enough. He said, I know what it's like to be desperate enough to try hiding someone in a closet. Yeah, now the relatives, the cuckoo, nutty, drunken relatives of Elian Gonzalez, who had him kidnapped before they snatched him back, every day they make another wild, insane accusation. Today they said, I couldn't make this up, they said President Clinton is being blackmailed by Fidel Castro. That's why Clinton wants the boy here, does not want him to go back to Cuba, because Castro was blackmailing Clinton with telephone sex tapes. I couldn't make this up. And, you know, we cannot let some foreign dictator blackmail our president about sex. That is the job of the Republicans in Congress, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I mean, we'd have to find out about his sex life. Well, yeah, the other thing the crazy relatives want to do is they're up in Washington. They followed the kid up there to Washington. They don't seem to have jobs. They are pressing for a shared living arrangement. Like this is going to work. Some sort of house where they could all live together. Psychologists are saying this is not really workable, but it is a great sitcom premise for Paul Rodriguez. They think that he could kind of I Love Lucy meets the Brady Bunch, just really. All right, and finally, Vermont. State of Vermont, anybody, has made history today. Finally, they are the first state where gay couples have the exact same rights as any other married couple. They are expecting a lot of gay people now to want to move to Vermont. That is, until they find out that the closest thing they have there to a disco is bingo night at the Elks Lodge. Okay. Thank you. Let us meet our panel, a very funny comedian who performed at this year's Aspen Comedy Festival, Reno Collier. Reno, hey. How you doing? He is a columnist and radio host, and his book is Plain Talk and Common Sense from the Black Avenger, Ken Hamblin. Ken.
Good to see you.
Ken.
All right.
Ken, unless you're on heroin right now, take the glasses off. All right, he's an innovative singer and founder of the online entertainment company PATRONETW. His new song is I Hate My Frickin' ISP. Todd Rundgren right over here. Oh. Well. Yeah, I know. Please, it's okay. I know you are on heroin. Okay. And she is the beautiful actress and star of the popular TV show Relic Hunter, Tia Carrere. Yeah. Hey, gorgeous.
Hi, nice to see you.
How you doing? Good to see you. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why you two guys have sunglasses on.
Sun's out in California. You ought to get out
but not
more.
in here. I promise it doesn't make you cooler. Anyway, we used to give out this award. It's, of course, Prince's symbol, who, you know, I found out is a fan of the show, so I'm not going to make fun of him anymore. But we used to give out the Get Over Yourself award, which was given to him because he couldn't even use the name Prince anymore. And then we gave it out to many people who needed to get over themselves. Well, we don't do it formally anymore, but I'd like to informally give this award now to the Cubans of Miami. Get over yourself. I mean, I have just had about enough. You know what? It was bad that Castro took over your island. I'm sorry, but it's not the Holocaust. Lots of people have gone through things like this. Stop holding this country hostage, this kid hostage.
Well, I think they're in a vacuum in Little Havana, and they feel so self-righteous in their little piece of the world.
Right.
But I think there was they went to Washington D.C.
The relatives.
Yes.
The insane relatives.
and there were no rallying supporters, and actually the paper newspaper said that they looked a little lost. They didn't know what to do because there was no one rallying behind them going, yeah, it's a political thing.
This is going to sound sexist, but what is it, Maris Lasis?
Maris Lasis, the insane cousin.
She needs to meet a nice Cuban boy and have niños. That's it.
Well,
this is not a puppy,
I think...
okay? She needs to have a baby, and it'll put a stop to all that nonsense.
And abuse that baby, right?
Yeah.
And abuse that child.
Yeah, abuse that child.
And she'll have a right to. There.
Well, the point is this person is not mentally stable, yet she's the spokesperson for the family.
That's frightening.
It's weird. They take the craziest person in the family and make them the spokesperson for the family.
You don't know that she's the craziest. She may be the sanest.
She's only the one who...
She's the soberest.
She's the one who's been in the hospital eight times during the stay of Elian Gonzalez.
Right. She has fainting spells every day.
The only reason I accepted this invitation to be here today is because I knew there was only one man in America that could possibly answer the question, what was the fisherman doing there at 3 in the morning?
You know,
what?
You said she needs to get married. Is the fisherman the boyfriend now? I mean, it's very...
Who knows?
Why
Who cares?
exactly?
I had a drunk uncle, and I was allowed to go there for the weekend, you know, and then my parents would come pick me up. They left this kid with these drunk people for months, weeks. I don't know. I don't watch the news, but whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, but I agree. What is the fisherman? What is the... I mean, it's like, and the fisherman too. It's, what is this? I mean, what is the fisherman doing there? This guy saw 15 minutes of fame out there in the ocean, and he went, why?
That's the fish he caught. I was fortunate enough, since I live in Hawaii, I just happened to tune about 5 minutes after the whole thing started and was able to see the entire thing, including the embarrassing performance of the news media on 4 or 5 different channels and on everything that went with it. But I saw this guy give his performance, literally the same performance, to 3 different news cameras, one after another. Right. Exact same performance.
Who, which? The fisherman?
The fisherman.
Oh, you missed Maris Lasis?
Oh, no, I caught her a little later. She had to come down a little bit, you know, from her
It's like Judge Judy and then the other judge. The fisherman's on first.
What's crazy that it even got to this point. I mean, it was such a clear-cut case. No matter what you feel about Castro, no matter what you feel about, oh, the mother gave her life to give this kid a better life, the father's still alive. There is no discussion. It's, you know.
Right. I mean, they act like he's going to be... There's
no discussion.
But why is it that liberals seem to understand that, and the whole conservative right wing is going bonkers, calling for investigations? And I'll tell you what, I believe this matter has caused the conservative movement in our country to give up the moral high ground. These are the people that had objections to homosexuals teaching in the school.
Family values.
Exactly. Condoms being given out, everything else.
Right. But they want the kid to live with the drunk uncle and the insane cousin.
I don't get it.
It reveals a kernel of hypocrisy in hardcore conservatives.
But I'm
There's a kernel of hypocrisy in hardcore conservatism.
I am heartbroken to be associated with that side of the political spectrum. I mean, it is an amazing thing. Now, I'll say this.
No,
I can't come back. I saw what they're doing.
Agnostics
I'm not going to be back over. Let's have a moment of kudos for that entire operation. Less than 3 minutes, smooth as silk. Knock the doors down,
as I always
take control.
say, Janet Reno, the only one with balls in that administration. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. We were talking about the Cuban community down there in Miami, and I understand that there's rifts now between a lot of the other Hispanic communities. They think that the Cubans are making them look bad. But you know what? They're not alone in this world of political correctness. I think they have a lot of help. Listen to this. A judge in Appellate Court in San Francisco has ruled now, you know what profiling is, right? When you identify...
What?
Yeah, right. Right, driving while black. That's profiling. Okay, but listen to this. He has ruled that the Border Patrol, and this is the Border Patrol on the Rio Grande with Mexico, can no longer use Hispanic appearance as a factor. I can't even say this without laughing. In deciding to stop a motorist.
It's about time we start catching those damn Canadians.
Yeah, I mean... What? Is that not... insane and preposterous?
Well, you tell where the border is.
Bill, it is no different than any big city, L.A., Chicago, New York. A guy on the corner of 4th and Main snatches a purse, and he takes off, and the cops on patrol know that he's a male, 5 foot 2 inches, and every Italian, every African-American, every Asian, every Mexican gets stopped because dispatch won't say that he is black or Mexican or whatever.
Oh,
so it's PC just going down to the border, and it's stupid.
It is stupid. But there's no Chinese people going over there. It's all Hispanic people there.
You can't say Chinaman, though. That's up there with saying nigger and spick. It is now politically incorrect to say Chinaman.
I'm worried. He's a Chinese.
You can't say Chinaman. That's racist.
I didn't say
He's
Chinaman. I said Chinese. You said Chinaman.
Sorry, I was on the call. There you go.
That's all right. You got my back. That's
Ken,
cool.
I mean, who has said Chinaman since Jack Nicholson in Chinatown? I mean,
but don't you think this is the same as going into a black neighborhood and saying, okay, and profiling black people?
No.
In other words, no, but the point is there are just as many brown people on this side of the border as on the other side of the border when you go along the California, Texas.
The odds are
borders on Mexico, and they're legitimate Mexican citizens living in the United States.
The odds are that a brown person in Minnesota is there legally. A guy in El Paso may not be.
That's
what, just because he's brown and he's in El Paso, the odds are he's not there legally?
No,
yes.
you're fighting. You know what you want to do? We want to take over Mexico and push it back a little further, and then your argument would hold water.
But are they talking about...
Not now.
Are they talking about people crossing the border?
So you're saying there's nothing but white people along the border on one side?
No, I'm saying that the odds are very, very probable that when you get a brown guy with his belongings in a plastic bag and wet ankles moving through the underbrush.
That's an elaboration.
Okay. I mean, come on. I've been there. I've seen it. All right? Trust me. I know.
But are they saying that they can stop people in El Paso driving down the street on their way to work? Or are we talking about, like, as they're crossing the border to stop them and say...
We're talking about the Border Patrol, whose job is to patrol the border. Now, you can argue whether that's a righteous thing or not, because, after all, we did steal the country.
No, we didn't steal the country.
Wait a
they
second.
Lost the war,
That's a whole nother
and
conversation.
we spent gold for it. Come on, Bill.
Wait, you didn't let me finish. We stole the country, but they stole it, too. I hate that argument that the Spanish people make. Oh, it's our country. You know what? You stole it from the Indians. Right. So, like, we're all thieves. Another get over yourself. But, okay. So you can argue that. But if you accept the status quo that we do have to protect our borders, then are you not going to empower the Border Patrol to be able to look at somebody and go, oh, you know what?
There's a possibility that you might be here illegally or crossing in.
A greater possibility.
Has anyone spent time with the Border Patrol here besides myself?
Oh,
then we defer to you.
Okay, you know what this really boils down to?
Just
you know what it really boils down to?
What's that?
It's even more ridiculous than you realize, because the Border Patrol will see an overloaded Ford van, let's say a panel truck, and they'll say, whoops, and they'll turn around and say, you know, this thing is down, the bumper is scraping. They pull it over, and a bunch of brown people get out. Okay? Right there from the border, a bunch of brown people get out, and that says, well, they're all brown people, but maybe we hadn't ought to do that. Okay? That's what that said. That's how absurd it is.
I thought he pulled them over because it was overloaded, not because they were brown.
You don't get it.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Explain it again. Trust me. Believe me. It's a hard... You know what? I was down there. I spent a week down there, did my show down there, and I spent time with Border Patrol agents on a tour of duty, and we stopped the same guy 3 times in one night. I give you my word. You know what happens? They are stopped. They are stopped. They are collected. They are taken to a detention center where federal law says we have to give them juice and cookies. I'm serious.
That dude's just hungry.
They ask for it. They demand it. That when a busload is put together, we drive them to the border. Right across the other side, they get out, and they mumble something in a foreign language. They turn around, and if you hang around the border, you can pick them up again. It must be the cookies.
And if you're Ricky Martin, you can pick them up many times. Okay, we have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Actor and comedian Guy Torry and and Rock for Life director, Brian Kemper.
All right, continuing our theme of race and ethnicity here tonight, I wanted to mention this. How many know the song Goodbye Earl? It's a huge hit for the Dixie Chicks. Obviously, we're not here in Dixie, but it's a hit. It's a crossover hit, as they say. And it's actually a catchy tune. I enjoy it myself. And it's about two friends who kill Wanda's abusive husband. That's Earl, and they're saying goodbye to him, and they kill him. And now a couple of stations, more than a couple, several, have dropped the song. They won't play it. They say it sends the wrong message. Oh. And
Todd's coming alive.
One less country song. Oh, too bad.
Well, the song itself isn't. I don't care if I hear it on the radio or not. I don't listen to the Dixie Chicks anyway. I listen to country music, but not the Dixie Chicks. But if that were a song about a man killing a woman, the women's rights people would just flip out. It wouldn't just be taken off the air. They'd crucify him. You know, if it was a man singing a song about, hey, my wife's mean to me, then I went out and hacked her up, you know, women would freak out. All those women's rights, Willie Nelson-looking chicks would be marching all over everybody. Am I right?
Senior citizens of country.
Well, it's fun, we're making light of it, but it's a form of censorship. I mean, you have, you know, rap songs talking about killing other gangsters. You have, you know, Luca or whatever, my name is Luca or whatever it is. And it is artistic freedom to express himself however they are. If you don't like the song, turn the radio off.
Oh, I agree
with you. But to categorically say, well, you know what, let's all band together and not play this song, that's censorship.
I agree with you. People can listen to it. I mean, the song is retarded as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead and listen to it.
Whether it's your cup of tea or not, I think they have the freedom to put it on the air.
I find most of the country so concertedly simple-minded that I don't know how anybody can take any of this seriously. It's the exact opposite of the blues, you know? Blues is sincere music. Country music is the most insincere music made. It's like they sit down and think, what can we say here? Wait, that won't really expose anything we feel.
How come country isn't white blues?
What's that?
How come country isn't white blues?
That's the question. Why isn't it?
Well, I don't know why it's not like blues. It could have something to do with the people who started playing it.
You opened that up. You said you said that blues, you know, is more legitimate than country. Why is it?
Blues, by my estimation, doesn't come from
this. But go ahead.
What's that?
I'm just getting. I just had an out-of-body experience. Go on.
Well, the only other people who wear hats on my show are country musicians.
Yeah, well,
they always have a big hat.
That's because
like a head of hopper thing, you know?
That's because of all that African-American programming. Forget country. The more important issue here today is African-American death and mass murder in D.C. at the zoo. That's what we should be talking about. Gun control.
The thing you're talking about,
11-year-old kids with
about
guns.
Country music being the white people's
blues. Am I another show all of a sudden? Did I like fall asleep for 6 months?
No.
I had an out-of-network experience there. Folks, you didn't change it.
I mean, I heard it coming on with an agenda.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why don't you just change chairs here for a second?
Roof.
But, you know, look, I grew up in New Jersey, so, I mean, I didn't really grow up listening to country music either. It just wasn't part of our diet. But you know, I listen to the songs, the records, when I have a guest on the shows. And I mean, it's not to my ear my favorite kind of music, but I don't think it's totally without merit, and I don't think it's any less valid than the blues, because it's about people.
I didn't say it was without merit. I said, you know, I mean, all music soothes the soul of some savage beast, presumably, you know, and is tailored to do so in many cases, you know. But the problem is the country has always had this idea of what is allowed to be country. And that's what keeps it so damn white.
Right, yeah.
You know? It's the fact that you can't really revel a sincere emotion, or you couldn't sincerely say you'd like to shoot your husband.
What do you mean?
You know?
You can't reveal a sincere emotion. What could be more sincere than I'm so lonely I
broke my heart? You know? There is a sincere emotion.
Oh, right, like I can't get no satisfaction is poetry compared to that.
The point is,
all lyrics suck. They're all stupid.
You could say that all lyrics suck, but you can't necessarily say that all lyrics contribute nothing at all to your understanding of the person singing it. And that's the problem with country music. It is so much the same, mostly because it's an industry. A lot of the people who sing the songs don't write the songs. They're written by professional songwriters, produced by professional record producers for professional stars.
And I'm
just like
a professional talk show host. I have to take a commercial.
Greatest country singer of all time is Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. I love that he said that. All right, Jerry Springer tomorrow with Catherine McCord from MTV, Guy Torrey, and Brian Kemp.